Guess what, everyone? I got COVID.
What?
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another, oh man, I think it's the end of the world, maybe not, episode. We're the hosts. My name is MJ.
My name is Adam.
And we invite you to another awesome episode of MJ and Adam Show, where we're going to let you into our English conversation so you can better your English listening skills and maybe learn a few things. And best part is get an extra feel of what English is like, because it's something that they don't teach you in the textbooks.
That is right.
Just heads up, everyone. Hey, Adam merch is still available. Those Adam goods, they're not going to be up forever. So definitely, if you've been interested, peek at it. Just keep on checking it out up on our website.
Yeah.
Figure out which one you want, because they're going to be gone soon. So
Get
pick them up
on it,
now.
huh?
So yes, everyone, the COVID, the sea monster has hit home hard. And yeah, everyone, this past few weeks, I have been out of commission, not doing any online lessons, not doing our daily live streams and stuff because of the situation I was in with this virus in my home, and not only in my home, in my body. But I'm not the only one.
Who?
If you didn't know, everyone, me and Adam, we're buddies, we're friends, we're best friends, we do everything together. So months ago, a while ago, when Adam, when you were still in Japan, right?
Right. I was still in Japan.
Also got that positive test result.
Yeah. The horrible.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So horrible. So we're just going to explain and just go in and talk about this, everyone, because I think there's a lot of question marks about this. If you are someone who still has not gotten the virus, then maybe you're like kind of scared. Maybe you're thinking like, oh, I can make it through and I'm going to be okay. There's going to be no problems.
Yeah.
So we're going to be just talking about a lot of different things. Within Japan, what happens if you get COVID? So in my case, everyone, it started with my little ones, the kids. They got it. They brought it home, trying to take care of them. And it was like as much precautions I took, having the mask on very tight so I could barely breathe, like Darth Vader over here, washing the hands all the time. It was still really tough to stay away from this. And I kind of was just like, I'm trying my best, and I got high hopes that I'll make it out, because I've made it, 2 years plus from the whole world safe. But then I kind of felt a little weird. I was like, I kind of have an extra runny nose today. Or, oh, my throat, like there's like the slightest feather in tickling my throat.
Slightest tickle, yeah.
Slightest tickle. Yeah. So I was like, that's kind of strange, but it might be it, but I'm just going to whatever. And then one day I had a slight fever. It was like 37 something, a little binetsu.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Nothing bad.
Right.
Just for one evening. And then after that, my throat still had that little feather in there. And then my back started hurting.
Oh.
I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. What is that from? Like, because did I sleep weird on it? Maybe.
Right.
Wasn't sure, but it felt really bad. Luckily, I had some painkillers, so I took those, and that really helped a lot.
Oh yeah.
Because like that, and like a little bit of a headache, which I like never get headaches.
Right.
Had the headache and stuff, so I was like, okay, people talk about body aches, headaches. I had a bit of a sore throat and stuff, but it wasn't so bad. I had a slight fever, so I was like, these things. And of course, around me, there was people that were positive with the virus. So I was like, this is probably it. This is probably it. Hopefully it doesn't get any worse. Go to the doctors, get a test. And then it was a few days later, I got a PCR test, and the next day I got the result, came back positive. Ooh. We are positive, MJ, that you are positive with the virus. I was like, okay, well, and from then on, it was pretty much smooth sailing.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So it was a little scariness. A few weird things, people talk about how like your taste buds stop working. You stop tasting things.
Right.
For me, like I could smell and taste, but I mean, you don't know exactly what it's like, but I have a horrible nose already and I can't smell and taste things very clearly.
That's true.
So it didn't, I feel like it wasn't anything super different, but
Right, right.
what was different, water tasted disgusting. Water tasted so
Water.
bad. Yeah, yeah.
Water.
And like I drink water, oh,
Yeah.
that's all my usual drink.
Yeah.
And so drinking water, I remember at that time, before I was positive, before I knew I was positive,
Mhm.
it tasted really bad. And I'm like, this is
Weird.
kind of weird.
Mhm.
It's kind of weird. I don't know about this. So those were the major things for me that it attacked within my body. You know, the worst thing was probably like the back aches.
Yeah.
The headache was there just for a day, but the
Yeah.
backache stayed for maybe like 2-3 days. Even that's not long.
Yeah.
But you know, it hurt to like just put on my socks. I was like, ow, just bending over to put on my socks. I'm like, what's this?
I know I'm old, but I'm not that old.
Yeah, not yet. Come
Yeah,
on.
right.
And then never got another fever. The coughing came a little bit. It
Okay.
started in the evening. I felt like, you know, it was one of those coughs where it felt like if you started coughing,
Yeah.
it's going to continue. Like it's going to be hard to stop.
Okay.
So I tried my best
Yeah.
not to cough from the get-go.
Do one of these.
Yes. You try to hold it
Yeah.
in. Trying not to cough. Because it opens the vault of coughing and it makes your throat hurt more and like
Right.
more raspy.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, just try not to cough and it won't get bad. So I feel like I kind of, for the most part, not got away with it, but got away with it.
Pretty much, yeah, compared to when I had it. Because for me, it started similarly to you. Like I woke up in the morning, I had a dry throat, and I was like, okay, it's dry. I need some water. I'll drink some water. And went to work. And I rode the train. So every morning the train's crowded. And I was like, okay, normal, feeling fine. And I had to go to a school that day because I was working with, you know,
oh wow,
the schools and things like that.
Yeah.
And at the school, I had my breakfast. I ate my snack bar. After the school finished, that's when it started getting weird. Like I was waiting in the teacher's room and the body aches started coming. Like I kept having to shift on the seat a little bit, but it wasn't like painful. It was more like, okay, you were standing basically the whole day. Maybe that's it. So maybe you just need to stretch more. And this was at around 4:00. I had to go back to the office, and that took another couple hours. So I got back to the office at around 5:30, and I had to finish editing or doing something when I should have gone home. But I was finished, and I was sitting there, and I was like shifting on the seat, and like I remember like I felt weird, and I don't usually get fever, so I think it was like a fever.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so then I felt weird and like I felt my body was heating up and my body was all painful and achy and I just wanted to go home. And finally I went home and I got home and that's when it was like really bad. Like I just wanted to lay down and rest.
Yeah.
And I didn't check my temperature at all until like the evening, like later on.
Okay.
But then when I checked, it was like, 40.
Oh, man.
And that was at like 12 a.m. And sleeping was difficult because I had the body aches. So
that too.
Yeah, I was tossing and turning, lay on my back's hurting, lay on my stomach's hurting.
Ooh.
So I took some painkillers and went to sleep. And that lasted 2 days, the body aches.
Yeah.
The fever of 40 was like 3 days.
Oh, man.
Going up and down between 40 and
then
37. And then
right.
evening 40 again, and then morning 37. Finally started going down, and I had the headache. It lasted the whole, like a 5 days probably. Then it kind of subsided, but going to get my test. So the first day I was guessing maybe I had a cold or something, but then the second day when I checked my temperature in the morning, it was 40. Yeah. And I was feeling really tired. And my wife's like, go in your room. So I went and
isolate.
I isolated myself for the whole, like a week in the room.
Okay.
Yeah. And then this Friday, I felt it. Saturday, I called the hospital.
Yep.
And I think Saturday afternoon sometime I went to get the test, and they gave me the results right away. The doctor was like, "Oh yeah, you have COVID." And I was like, "Oh crap." Then I went home and went back into the room and stayed there for a week.
So for you, did it spread to anyone else in your family?
No, I think because I was so quick about staying in the room.
Okay.
And, for food and stuff, my wife brought me food, luckily.
Yeah.
And just like masked and left the food in there and left right away.
Yeah.
I would open the windows to ventilate the room like every 2 or 3 hours and just leave it open, which was nice because it wasn't cold outside.
How did you feel being like the one that, quote unquote brought it? Because like there was one point when like way before, like last year sometime, where I felt like I had like a weird kind of like cough or something.
Okay.
And I was like, as I was going to sleep that night, I remember it hit me. I'm like, oh, like this could be
it.
COVID.
Yeah.
Like this could be it. And then it like my heart like sunk for a second because I got really scared because I'm like, what's gonna happen? Like I don't want to have the rest of my family infected and stuff.
I see.
What do I do? I was really, really nervous. Where this time, where it's, there's a lot more knowledge around what can be done if you get infected and stuff, as well as like the kids brought it home. So I'm just like, I almost like let my guard down a little bit because it's just like this is the time I'm probably going to get it. I'm like, this is
it. Yeah.
This is it. This is probably going to be it.
Right.
So kind of, I was more prepared for it.
Right.
So it wasn't such a big shock.
I see.
But for you, just,
Yeah. I think
was it a shock?
It wasn't a shock because I kind of was like, okay, like if I'm going to get it, it's now. Nobody, like the train it's like this. I'm standing on the train a lot of the times.
breathing onto each other.
I'm like, this mask, it's not doing anything. If it's doing anything, it's like just covering my face, basically.
They're just keeping more of the germs in.
And then I'm hearing on the news that there's breakouts in different schools, and I'm going to all these schools with the breakouts. I'm like,
oh my gosh, yeah.
It's definitely bound to happen to me.
Yeah.
Because of
my gosh,
the conditions that I'm being put in. It's not like I'm going into the schools that had breakout infections and in these classes that had breakout infections in a hazmat suit. I'm going in there in regular clothes and like a mask, right?
Right.
No matter how many times I wash my hands, I have to eat sometime,
Mm-hmm.
I have to go back into the train, and then, it's inevitable.
Yeah, it is
at that point. So going home, I was thinking more and more that I had it, like on that day, because I don't usually experience fevers and backaches and things like that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the flu. I wasn't feeling queasy or anything. So immediately my brain went to, what if this is COVID? Let me not think about it too much. Let me just go home and try to rest it off.
Yeah.
And then eat dinner and then see what happens. And then I ate dinner and it wasn't getting better.
You saw what happened.
The next day, I woke up and I was like, okay, have a fever. See you guys. See you in a week.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Basically.
Yeah. All right. So then I think depending on if you are living with people or not, I know that the government, the cities will provide like food because you're not allowed to like leave.
Right.
I mean, like there's some places that have like hotels and stuff that you can stay in and quarantine, isolate in and stuff. So in my situation, like I remember hearing of someone who lived alone and they got like this box. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. I'm like, you get a box of stuff, some food because you can't leave. And then when the people in my family got it, the kids and stuff, there was no box because there was one person who could still leave the house and get food.
Okay.
Once that person came full circle and it was the whole house,
you got the box.
Then we got the box. and it was huge. We got 3 massive boxes
Wow.
filled with all these types of like, it's just, I guess, pasta and canned goods and
Okay.
stuff, and instant curry and
Yeah.
instant pasta sauce. No bread, because I guess that can go bad. But it was like, I was looking at the stuff and I was like, this is like kind of good for like disaster kind of times. Like,
Oh, yeah.
maybe I should save a few of these
Right.
things.
Yeah.
But yeah, something that I thought was, I guess, a nice kind of help out
Mhm.
that the government people, this whole, I guess, organization that has been put together
Right. To
to
take care of.
help people who have gotten this virus, who
Right.
get the virus, who can't take care of themselves, especially, you need to quarantine, you need to keep yourself safe
Mhm.
from everyone else. So it's good that there's that kind of thing. But luckily in our cases, we had a family who could take care of us, who could
Yeah.
do a little extra help, and
sure.
luckily nothing turned out bad.
Right. Yeah.
Everything seems to be
Full recovery.
for me, when we're recording right now, everyone, I'm on the last leg of our isolation for the
Okay.
house.
Nice.
So, and everyone seems pretty good. So nothing too severe.
Mhm.
And hey, I guess on the plus side, we all have antibodies to fight it
Yeah.
even more. Well, there you have it, everyone. Some stories of what it's like to get COVID in Japan while you're living here. Hopefully that helped everyone out feel a little more comfortable or kind of a little more prepared
Mhm.
for when it hits. Because, if you're like me, you're thinking, hey, maybe I can get through the whole thing without getting it. It's coming. It's going to come knocking on that door one day. Just saying.
Who is
Not to
it?
scare you, but saying.
Yeah. But that's it. We'll see you on the next
step.